What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. On today's video, of course, we are going over an ADA update. Now, I know it's been about 5 days since we went over ADA. I have been incredibly busy, but with that being said, what we are seeing is what we were seeing then, and so usually you guys do know until once we see some movement, once we start to see some patterns form, then I will update you all, and that's exactly what we're going to be going over today. We're seeing some structure, we're seeing some formation, we're seeing the repetition of a very similar pattern here, and so with that being said, of course, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pay close attention to what we are looking at now. So, with that being said, guys, what we're seeing at the moment honestly has been pretty good. I'm honestly not too concerned with what we are seeing right now. Okay, now I know a lot of people are starting to get a little stressed about the fact that ADA's price is falling and that things are starting to look weird, and we're all getting that question, man. Now that smart contracts are out, is the hype over? Should I sell? Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start this video off with saying that I personally am not selling right now, and I do believe that there is still potential to run in the future, but I do have targets set at which I will be taking profits. Okay, and we're gonna go over all of that today. So what we're looking at for ADA is a very similar move to what we saw back here. All right, now let me explain. Now, first and foremost, what we can see is that there are many similarities in a few different aspects. Not only the Fibonacci retracement levels, not only the EMAs, but our Bollinger Bands as well. Now, I know this may be a little overwhelming to look at, but just stick with me as I'll explain what everything is right here. So what we saw was going to be this big extension, right? This big run up where everything was exciting and everything was going crazy. We smashed through $1 and we were doing absolutely phenomenal back in early 2021. Well, from there, of course, we did see that the Bollinger Bands absolutely became so extended. We started to see them working their way up, but that gap was absolutely huge. And of course, this is a measurement of volatility between this top band and this bottom band. So that just goes to show that it was super volatile. Not only that, we were starting to use our 20 and 50 EMAs on the daily charts as our support to carry our way up here once we started to set these highs, and we started to see a bit of consolidation happening on top of our 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level from our lowest level down to our swing high. Okay, so let's look at the similarities here now that we have some patterns. So what we can see here was a very similar structure, right? We saw this big extension in which our Bollinger Band envelope did become incredibly volatile, okay? We started to see a big expansion there. Of course, again, it's a measurement of volatility. Not only that, on the way up, we did come down to revisit some of our EMAs as we did attempt to here and here. We did come down a few times as well. Let's hide this Bollinger Bandwidth. You can see we retested this 50 EMA as we are trying to establish some support here. Not only that, we are looking to establish support on top of the 382 that was established from our lowest point down to our swing high, very similarly to what we saw here. Okay, so we're seeing a very similar pattern form out, and so the reason that I'm not selling right now is because although yes, we did see excitement and we did see that smart contracts was releasing and Alonzo and all that stuff that seemingly did trigger a bit of a sell-off, a sell the news event, the sell-off that we're seeing and the pullback that we're seeing, this correction, does seem to be still very healthy with some upward potential, as we did see here. Sure, there may be some some lacking of volatility, there may be a little bit of consolidation, but that does not go to say that there isn't some upward momentum. Okay, but what it does go to show is that we need to pay attention for this pattern to continue or to break. You guys know I only buy things on breaking of patterns, breaking of these levels, breakouts, these things that are confirmations for me that we're going to continue upwards. That's what I'm buying. And then if I'm looking to take profits or add to my position, I'm looking for these lower levels. I'm looking to take profits, say when we lose a key level of support, in which I am then under the expectation that the price will continue downwards. So let's talk about these levels. So what I'm expecting to see is actually going to be one of two things. We're either going to see the continuation of this pattern in which we're establishing support, finding some consolidation on top of key levels, of course, to go up to set a new high, or I do believe that this pattern has the potential to break, in which we then see a bit of a continuous fall to the downside. Okay, now you guys know I don't say exactly what what is going to happen. I think those YouTubers who say this is going to happen, so trust me, I think they're doing everyone a disservice. My goal is to keep you all as well prepared as I possibly can for any outcome that will happen. So what I'm looking for right now is two things. Two things will tell me, okay, the price is likely going down. And then if a third thing happens, that is going to be when I take profits. Okay, that is going to be when I start to remove some of my profits from this trade, as I then do believe we may come down to set an even lower low than we did here. Okay. So what I will be looking for right now is simply going to be that we can hold support, if not on the 50 EMA, in which we're seeing right now, but at least the 100 EMA. I would like to see that we don't come down to start to retest this 200 EMA, because that will then start to serve as our final level of EMA support. Anytime we usually fall below this 200 EMA, that's a sign on the daily charts that we may be looking at a continuous fall to the downside, okay? So I would love to see that we don't even interact with that, but at best, at worst, I would love to see that we can hold on top of this 100 EMA, similarly as we did during this move here. Remember, we're looking at this being a similar pattern that we're looking at now, in which we're coming up and we're setting these highs. We're just looking into a moment of consolidation before upward continuation, rather than we're looking at something like this where we touched the all-time high and now we're working our way back down to a downtrend before eventually working our way back up. We're looking for this to be, we're looking for this to be this rather than this being this. Okay, if that makes any sense. So what I'm looking for is similarly here, we didn't lose or get any closes below our 100 EMA. And so on the daily charts, I'm looking to see that we at least hold that. As long as we hold the 100 EMA, I will in no way be stressed out that this thing is going down and that all the hype is over. Secondly, what I'm going to be looking for is that we can start to at least hold above our key area, our key zone right now of $2.31 and $2.06. Now, the reason I say that is because if you pay attention to this swing high, this swing low, to this swing high that was set right here, what we can see is that throughout this pattern, throughout this, this formation, we saw that we established support and we never got closes below our 0.382 and 99 cents, right at about $1 throughout this entire move, okay? And so what I'm looking to see is that even though we wicked into it, as we did a few times, we wicked into it a few times here and there, what I'm looking to see is that we can hold on top of this. Of course, if the price does come up to set a new high, we're gonna have to take this high and move it up. So it's gonna start to change the levels in which we're interacting with. But from our swing low to our swing high, I want to see that we can hold support above $2.14 to $2.40. If we start to fall below that, there's a good chance that we're going to start to interact with our last level of support. Now, what that last level of support is going to be this green box that you can see on your screen here, which is going to be, I'm going to move it just a tad so you can see it. And let's go back down. And what that's going to be is, again, that's going to be our level of $1.47 to $1.83. As long as the price is above this level, I am in no way concerned. Okay, as long as it does not come back down below $1.47, again, I will not be worried. I will not be selling. I will not be taking profits. The reason that I say that is because throughout our entire move, this entire run up here, one thing that was shown and one thing that was displayed, swing high to swing low, is that we never came back down to lose this level. At no given point from that low to this high, at no given point did we come back down to lose our 786. We wigged down into our 618 a few times, but we used this as key levels of support. Remember, this was our buy. Once we saw it touch, we're like, you know what, let's get in. Boom, we bought, went up a couple 100%. So we're looking to see a very similar pattern play out, and that if we do go from swing low to swing high, we want to see that this $1.46 to $1.80, this box holds as that key level of support in order to pad this down, let it cool down a bit, let our RSI relax a little, and then use that into upward continuation. Now, the reason that I believe this is going to happen and that we're not going to continue downwards unless the entire market goes into a bear market, which could happen, I do believe that this is going to happen due to the fact that although there is a sell the news event going on right now, the addition of value that is coming from the introduction of smart contracts is inherently and exponentially growing as time goes on. The more smart contracts that are becoming use, the more utility that ADA has, the more people that are using ADA for their projects, the more projects created on ADA and the Cardano platform itself and blockchain. I believe that that is inherently adding a significantly large amount of value to ADA itself and its price as supply does increase with the limiting of demand. And I do believe that that is going to continue to lead to a continuation of growth from ADA's price. That is my true, genuine opinion. The only thing that would stop that from happening is if we start to see different cryptos, such as Bitcoin, for example, entering into a bear market by losing about $33,800. If it loses 786 and we see a continuation downwards and that this was a bull trap, then we definitely could see ADA go into some continuous fall. Okay, so my whole thing right now is that I still have high hopes that ADA is still growing in value so significantly that we will see the continuation upwards if the entire market does allow so. But with time, if we do see the prices of Bitcoin and other cryptos, Ethereum and those start to fall and we enter into a bear market, I do believe ADA's price will fall with it, but that does not mean that the value of ADA is changing. Even if its price does reflect what the rest of the market is doing, I will be buying significant portions of ADA over time, as I do again believe that we will see it continue upwards. Now, in terms of when I would take profits, because I did say that I would be looking to take profits at one certain level, I would be looking to take profits personally at the loss of our 786 at $1.46. The reason being is that if we were to lose this level, I'm still up 50% on this trade here. I'm still up 50% there. I can take that profit out under the expectation that we will come down to retest $1. I do believe that if we lose $1.46, we will also have lost the 200 EMA, which would then likely lead us to see a more continuation downward, possibly to $1, possibly back down to about, $1.27, and or about 45 cents. That's our bare minimum. I don't think ADA's price will ever hit that personally, but I do believe the loss of $1.46 will lead to a continuation to the downside. And so with that, that is my take profit levels only from my buys on this midterm trade in which I have been executing. Okay, so with that being said, I will keep you guys as up to date as I possibly can. I will let you guys know if anything changes. I will let you guys know if anything happens that will be significant. But for the moment, just be looking to see that those levels in which we talked about do hold, those EMAs, those Fibonacci retracement levels, and keep an eye on our Bollinger Bands, as again, there are those trades that open up based off of the crossing of that 20 simple moving average. So with that being said, again, I will update you guys as soon as I possibly can. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.